I'd like to introduce our first speaker of this evening, an individual who has been very supportive of the Business Book Awards and continues to fly the flag for this is hard for me to say, authorpreneurs. Someone who can't pronounce their R's. Let's do that again, just so you can have a good laugh. Authorpreneurs. Thank you. A successful entrepreneur and author of 4 best-selling business books. He is the co-founder of Dent Global, leaders in strategy and technology for entrepreneurial businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for sponsor and ambassador of the Business Book Awards, Daniel Priestley.
Good evening. Thank you very much for having me and joining us tonight for the Business Book Awards. It's a big night for me. I have 3 children under 5, so being out at all and not having vomit on me is a huge thing. Being a dad of 3 kids, I get to have dad jokes, and I absolutely love telling my dad jokes. My favourite dad joke is when someone asks me, "How long did it take you to write your very first book?" And I always say 29 years, and because I wrote my book at 29, right? And of course that gets the exact same response that it got tonight. It's a dumb thing to say, but it's actually a little bit true, which is behind every book that we see this evening is not just the hundreds of hours that it took to put it together and to write it. It's actually the decades of experience, the blood, sweat, the tears, the success stories, the dead ends, the failures, the hunches that went into the ideas behind the book. And that authors take all of this knowledge that they've accumulated over time, they put it together, and they literally put it into something that's going to be given away for a tenner, or in many cases given away for free, which is obviously an incredibly generous thing to do, to take all of your experiences and insights and make it available for other people, which is wonderful. By the way, given that people actually do this, what is with people who do 1-star reviews? Who are the authors in the room? Who's an author in the room? What is with those 1-star reviews? Oh, can we just like mentally hate on those people for a little bit tonight? Right? If you haven't got something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Were these people raised by wolves or? Business authors trust that if they give away their good content, good things will happen, and good things do happen if you do that. Many authors get weekly emails and messages on their social media talking from people who have read their books, and these are people who sometimes you've never met them, you'll probably never meet them, and they describe you as a mentor or an advisor to them. It's an incredible position to be in. They say that that you helped them. Something that you wrote actually helped their business and helped them to get through a sticking point. It improves business and it leads to jobs and it leads to opportunities and it leads to impact. If an author can share these insights, then all of that good stuff happens. But of course, we don't do it for selfless reasons and just generosity alone. We do it for very selfish reasons as well, don't we? I run a business accelerator. We have over 3,000 entrepreneurs globally that we work with. And central to the business strategy is writing a book. And the reason for that is that it is an incredibly powerful business tool. Writing a book sharpens our thinking, it builds notoriety, it becomes an ambassador for the business, it goes out and meets people. All of this leads to remarkable and magical experiences. I do want to share a little story actually that happened yesterday when I was interviewing one of our clients. And she confronted her fears around writing, and she wrote her book, and she told me about her experience. As a teenager, she was told she was not good to write anything coherent by a teacher. It stuck with her whole life, and she'd never written very much. And then Lucy challenged her to write a book, and she did write a book. She got through the process, and she said it was an incredibly emotional experience opening the book and seeing that she had become an author. The book led to bigger clients, higher prices, 2 new members of staff, paid international travel to speak at conferences. She gets emails from business leaders saying that the book helped them to solve problems and avoid people being fired. Remarkably, the book arrived just in the nick of time when her mother was ill, and her mother got to see her become an author, and it actually was one of the things that sparked a conversation about how proud her mother was of her, and she was able to say those words that she'd been waiting to say. And when her mother did pass away, the book was by her bedside table because in those last moments she'd been bragging about her daughter to the people who were caring for her. A book is absolutely magical. It is its own reward, and it needs no further recognition. But the Business Book Awards do a wonderful job of recognising authors, and hopefully not necessarily it's about the recognition, but it's about inspiring other people to put more value on their story, to dig deep and to look at their stories, to look at their insights, to share generously, and to put more books into the world. I hope that the Business Book Awards, if you haven't yet written your book, encourages you and many others to share their insights. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Mr. Daniel Priestley. Thank you.